What's up, y'all? It's your boy Marty-TYIE, man. Back to you guys with another video, another banger. So today, I got, as you can see, I got my 2018 BMW S1000RR that I rebuilt after I crashed up in Fresno. I crashed going about 120 racing, or slowed down to about 120 racing, and flipped the bike, messed the whole bike up, but got it put back together. As you can see behind me, got the beautiful red carbon fiber wheels, new exhaust, all this, got all the new stuff. But I've been having an issue with it as to why I haven't been riding it in the past 3 or 4 months. I couldn't figure out the issue. I got the bike, I had got a new ECU for the bike because I messed up the ignition when I crashed, and the ignition wasn't compatible with the tachometer that I had, so I had to get a set that matches each other. So shout out to my boy Rami that sold me ECU with the cluster and everything like that. I got all that stuff and got it picked back together, but the bike just wasn't running right. The bike was running super rich, lean or rich, one of the two, or lean, yeah, higher than number the leaner. So it was running super rich, and I couldn't figure it out. As you can see, shit. So the bike was running super lean, and I just couldn't get it right. I got the bike tuned. I thought the bike needed to be tuned, so I got the bike tuned, and it wasn't running right on the dyno when the tuner was running the bike. The bike was shutting off. The bike wouldn't go over 11k RPM. When I would go at like 4k RPM, it would bog out on me, and it just wasn't giving me the unleashed full potential of the bike. I had got the motor cleaned out, valves done, the head, everything polished and stuff like that, and the bike just wasn't running right still. So I figured out the problem. One day I got just curious. I just lifted up the fuel tank. My boy Hector was here. Lifted up the fuel tank, and I found out that I had a pinch fuel line. I had a pinch fuel line, and also the fuel line was very brittle and weak. And when it's brittle and weak, it's because of the type of fuel that I was running in the bike. So when I race, I run MR12 race fuel, VP racing fuel. And that when I crashed the bike was sitting for the bike sat for about a year. And that MR12, that race fuel, was sitting in the injectors and eating up the fuel system. So when you guys race and you guys, finish, make sure you guys clean out that MR12. Make sure you guys do your oil changes, and don't leave that race gas in your bike, because it can eat up the fuel system. So I had got the injectors clean, flow tested, still couldn't figure it out. Got the bike tuned, still couldn't figure it out. I spent $800 on the tune. Now I got to retune it again because the fuel it was tuned on a pinch fuel line. I had took the bike apart, did a compression test. The compression test was 200 across the board. That lets you know that the bike was still, everything was good. I did that across the board. It was a 200 compression test, and I still couldn't figure it out. So I've come to find out that it is the fuel line. So what I did is I went to the BMW dealership, and I got a whole new fuel line. So as you can see, the fuel line is strong, not so brittle. So what I'll be doing right now tonight is I'll be taking the bike apart, and I will be putting the new fuel line on the bike, and then I got to get the bike tuned, and then I'll be riding the bike and racing again and stuff like that, giving you guys that good content. So you guys stay tuned, man. Alright, so first things first, guys, is I got my Milwaukee ratchet, and they're all Torx screws, so they take a T25. So we'll start with that T25. We'll start taking this motherfucker apart. Let's get it. Side. This first carbon piece off, so we'll just set that to the side, and then the second carbon piece right here. Let's see, I don't know if it's on by the way, but let me take this off too. Alright guys, first thing first was had to take the tail off the bike, so I took the red tail off on the back side, and then I also took these two carbon pieces off. They were just small torque screws on both sides. Now what will be next is just taking the tank off. I got a screw over here. I got this screw right here. Should be like a 10 mil. We'll pull the tank off, pull the fuel line, and put the new fuel line on. Shouldn't take long. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so doing some more steps. I had got the fuel tank off. Here is the fuel line that I'm talking about. The fuel line feeds from the fuel rail to the fuel pump. The fuel line is super brittle. It's getting pinched when I ride. It's just not running right. As you guys can see, I have good compression and everything like that. However, the bike's not turning on, so it's not a lot of work, man. I'm already to it. I just gotta undo this coupling right here under the fuel tank, and then I also have to take the fuel line off of the fuel rail. I'm pretty sure I leak a lot of fuel, so I gotta get a bunch of towels and stuff like that. But it shouldn't be too hard, you guys. It's part of the journey. It's what comes with it. You know what I mean? People, we get frustrated, and we got cars on jacks and bikes and stuff like that. Unfortunately, man, we got problems. You know what I mean? We go down on our bikes, drop our bike. You know, you do something to your car. You know, this is all part of the journey. You know what I mean? You just got to keep going. If you can't figure an issue out, you got to keep going. You write down your list, reach out to your sources, call your friends, call your fam, you know, your tuner, your shop, talk to people, man. Get the word out. Use the Reddit forums. Like this is a BMW platform, you know. Use a BMW platform, use a BMW forum, and just ask questions. That's really the only answer to all of your problems and solutions is just asking questions. You know, somebody may have, you know, more experience in another category on the bike or on the car than you do. You know what I mean? They'll be able to elaborate and explain it to you so that you can understand and move forward and conquer your issue. So my boy Hector, we were just diagnosing the bike. Had a lot of issues. My builder was helping me, and my tuner, he tuned the bike, and I just couldn't get the bike right. You know what I mean? I tried everything. I did a lot of things, compression tests, stuff like that, and I just couldn't get it right. But you know, one day my boy Hector came over. He's like, "Hey, bro, did you check the fuel tank, bro? Fuel line?" And I was just like, "No, I didn't think about it." So one day I just popped the fuel tank, and the bike wasn't starting for probably like 4 or 5 days. The bike wasn't starting, and one day I popped the fuel tank, and the fuel line was pinched. I unpinched, and the bike starts. And then I didn't have that bogging issue anymore, and the bike was revving how it was supposed to rev. So I got the fuel line. I put the fuel line on. Unfortunately, I got to get the bike tuned again. So I probably got to take the bike to the shop and get tuned again, or I'll go to Carita Motorsports, have Carita Motorsports tune the bike again. But it's part of the game. It's part of the struggle, baby. You know what I mean? This what comes with this. Is shit. It is a beautiful struggle, you know. So I'm gonna get that fuel line on. Probably take the bike to the gas station tomorrow, put gas in it, and probably just see how the bike runs. I know it's not gonna run how it's supposed to, so I won't do any pulls or anything like that, because the bike's running lean. So, but you guys stay tuned. All right, so next step was I popped the two fuel sensors off of the fuel tank. As you can see, these two fuel sensors, and then popped the fuel line out of the fuel tank. Now the fuel tank's ready to come off, so now I'll take the fuel tank off and just be delicate, make sure no fuel leaks and stuff like that. Put your tank in a safe spot, because you don't want to drop your tank and dent it, stuff like that. You don't want fuel leaking everywhere, so just be very gentle and stuff like that when you're taking care of your stuff. But we'll put this on the ground for now, and then get to this fuel line, make sure that doesn't leak. So the fuel line is actually right here. Here's the fuel line. So I don't really know how this clamp works, but we'll figure it out. Like I said, if you don't know something, ask a question. It's not that hard. Here's the new fuel line. So we'll just open this up right here. Let's see what's up. Here's a new fuel line. It's very, you know, strong. It's not brittle and weak like this one. So I have to take this one off. This one's easy to squeeze and stuff like that, so it's just not a good fuel line anymore. So we'll be replacing it. But I gotta figure out how to take this off, this clamp. I don't know how really.